Well, hi there. Warm welcome. You're watching Blueprint Explosive Exclusive, and I'm Meghna Deka. Well, viewers, it's almost 6:30 p.m. Time for some chai. Well, many of you may just be sipping some tea, settling in with some garma-garam samosas. As you can see, so am I. Perhaps even a jalebi or two. How tantalizing is that? To just bite into that sizzling hot jalebi to make your evening come alive. After all, it is our favorite desi snack, our humble samosa, which is, of course, the rock star, India's very gift to the world, if you can call it that. It is our desi snacking palette of samosas and jalebis. Chaiwalas across India at this moment, even as we speak, every gully and nukkar are going to be serving it up, hot, steeping and satiating. But what if I tell you, it's time to be beware of this humble samosa, this humble jalebi, what we are calling here on Times Now, the samosa caucus. Well, why are we saying this? Well, today, these very yummy and lip-smacking dishes are becoming the biggest enemies for our health. They are being put in the same bracket as cigarettes. Yes, you wonder why cigarettes? How can you equate a samosa and a jalebi with a cigarette? You would ask. Well, let's explain it and break it down for you. Well, the Union Health Ministry has ordered all central government officials to put up oil and sugar boards that will let the public know what exactly that they are eating. These posters are going to be put up across in cafeterias, in public spaces, and they are going to be alerting the public, you and me, about the poison that we are consuming while we eat it. It's going to be there in every canteen. Imagine having a plate of samosa and suddenly it's going to pop up. Statutory warning, a samosa can be injurious for your health, just like a cigarette. It is an attempt to treat junk food just like tobacco. But which are these delicacies which cause you as much harm as a cigarette would? Well, let's take you through all of them. First, you have the laddu, the vada pav, gulab jamun as well, and of course the pakoras, the samosas, the jalebis. All of our favorite ever snacks, desi snacks, all of them can be harmful for your health, and they are going to come with statutory warnings splashed across now. Well, there is a reason why the government is concerned. All the dishes that we just showed you contain either oil, very high in oil quantity, or they have excess of sugar. Just look at that on your screens. The taste of India is such that the most concerning among them is that of samosa. Easily the most accessible dish, yes, and quite a favorite amongst all age groups. But quite frankly, it is also the most dangerous. Look at this on your screens. You have 60 million samosas which are being sold every day. And look at the market, the size of the market for samosa alone. It is a staggering $3.65 billion in India. There is no doubting each and every one of these dishes, of course, all of them are mouth-watering, I mean, but who wouldn't want to have a samosa in the evening or that jalebi after a nice meal? But do you know what it really costs you? The health issues. Well, there you have it on your screens. When it comes to health issues, amongst women, obesity is one of the biggest problems. Why? Because 6.4% women in India are obese. It hangs very high on the global obesity index. When it comes to women who are being overweight, that's 24%. Imagine 24% of women in India are overage. But let's also break it down for you further. Let's tell you about the men. 4% of men are obese, 22.9% men are overweight. So that's how India is scaring and scaling the obesity ranks. Also, 44.9 crore Indians are going to be overweight by 2050, and this marker is going to be very important because it is believed that 1/5 of the urban adults are overweight. So there is a bigger problem in urban areas than in rural India per se. 8% of the children are also obese, which is a huge problem for a developing country such as India. So let's tell you, break it down for you. After all, the moment on a lip forever is going to be on the hips. Sample how many calories that you're going to be piling up and how long it is going to take for you to burn it off. Let's break it down in numbers. There you have it on your screens. If you have a samosa, it comes with a staggering 260 calories. You'll have to burn it with 65 minutes of walking. You'll have to walk for 65 minutes just to burn off the calories that you're going to get from one samosa. Let's break it down for jalebi. It has 150 calories. To burn it down, you'll need 25 minutes of cycling just for one jalebi. Remember that next time you're going to be eating a jalebi. If you look at pakora, every single humble pakora, well, it comes with 300 calories. You have to burn it with 27 minutes of running. Yes, that's right. Gulab jamun, 175, faring slightly better than the samosa and the jalebi, but it'll take you 44 minutes of walking to burn down the calories that you gain with a gulab jamun. When it comes to our laddu, it's about 200 calories. You'll have to take close to half an hour of cycling to burn off the calories that you are going to gain from one laddu. Now, we all know that these cravings simply cannot end overnight. It's a generational thing for Indians to have a samosa, to have a jalebi with chai. But no one's really asking you to forget these samosas and jalebis. But what is perhaps significant is a balance. A balance needs to be maintained. Let's tell you how. For example, in a samosa, you can avoid deep frying. You have other alternatives, of course. You have things like air fryers, which are available. You can fill it with boiled vegetables as well as sprouts instead of deep fried and sauteed vegetables. In a jalebi, you can soak it in honey or jaggery instead of sugary syrup. In a jalebi, you can also try baking your jalebis and pan frying your jalebis. Both of them have been picking up in modern urban centers as well. In fact, pakoras, you must avoid deep frying. Of course, one big trend for pakoras is to bake it and air fried pakoras. Try it, it's not that bad. I know I have. Well, this is just to give you a bit of an idea as to how you can cut it down. Excessive intake, after all, of anything can be very, very harmful. It is not just about oil or sugar story. In fact, a recent AIIMS study has also found out that Indians are consuming much more sugar than what is really necessary for them, and it is a major point of concern. Let's tell you why. For example, when it comes to sugar, AIIMS study says that Indians are eating 2 times the recommended salt in their food. What it causes is high blood pressure. Alternative, of course, is a low sodium salt. Also, what it causes is heart diseases, which is why we must be very careful about the amount of salt intake that we take, not just that of sugar and oil. Also, salt intake causes hypertension, something which has been ailing urban India. Kidney disorders also are going to follow, as well as what it may cause is a stroke, which is why beware of your salt as well. Alternatives, of course, are that of low sodium diets. But is it only Desi Snacks which are silent killers? In fact, listen in to Shiv Sena MP Meghna Deka. Remember, he heads the subordinate legislation committee in the parliament, which is looking into FSSAI's roadmap to fight obesity problems. In fact, Meghna Deka has said that it's not just Desi snacks. You must be wary of other snacks as well. For example, burgers, pizzas. They too should be under the scanner. Well, watch what he has to say.
यदि भारत सरकार समोसा जलेबी को रेगुलेट करना चाहते हैं, इस पे हमें कोई आपत्ति नहीं है, लेकिन इसके साथ साथ बर्गर्स, डोनट्स, पिज्जाज, जो वेस्टर्न पश्चिम अनहेल्दी फूड्स हैं, उस पर भी रेगुलेशन होना चाहिए. यदि हम छोटे व्यापारी जो सड़कों पे समोसा बेचते हैं, जलेबी बेचते हैं, इसके साथ साथ मैकडॉनल्ड्स जैसी ईटरीज को भी हमें रेगुलेट करना होगा.
Well, let me go across to our panelists. Today, joining us on the show, we have Tarandeep Kaur, a fitness influencer. Dr. Shikha Sharma is also joining us, a senior nutritionist. Dr. Sharma, I'm going to come to you first. It's interesting. The union government says, the union health ministry says that there are going to be signages which are going to be cropping up, perhaps across government offices, even canteens, that samosas are injurious for your health, that jalebis are injurious for health. We've seen similar signages coming up for smoking. It hasn't really stopped smokers from doing so. Do you think these kind of signages is going to have an impact?
I would say that it's high time we have these kind of signages. The reason is that today it's not the same world as we were living before the pandemic. In everybody's body, an inflammation has entered. In everybody's body, there is the number of inflammatory markers you can see. ESR is high.
Right.
Reactive proteins are high. So this is a new normal. This is a new world we are living in. Number one. So to protect our population, we need to go a little more, I would say, intensive to protect our population. Now, let's first try to understand what is the problem. Is it just the oil and the sugar and the fat?
Mm-hmm.
No. It is also the chemicals which are coming through the oil. It is also the kind of oil which is coming into our system. It is also the number of, when we talk about packaged food, we completely forget. We say that oil is more, or we say salt is more, but we don't look at the other chemicals, the artificial colors, artificial flavors. Now let's look at samosa or jalebi. Now the vendor who's providing samosa and jalebi at a low cost at a cafeteria,
Right.
You would not even know what kind of low quality oil which is full of chemicals he's using. Why? Because he has been told that you cannot raise the price of samosa to more than this. So who's subsidizing? We are subsidizing with our health. Because all this palm oil which is coming in, on top of that, they're refrying the oil. The quality of oil, it's not even packaged oil they're using or any standard brand. They're just using loose oil. So the problem is that a lot of vendors who are supplying food at a very, very low cost are actually using substandard quality.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore,
Absolutely.
if you look at the data, the statistics, all this data and statistics in today's time when people can afford good food, they're not getting good food. They're getting chemical food. They're getting food which has very poor quality of ingredients. So that's the reason these diseases are happening in much, much more. And Delhi or any other big city has high levels of pollution. So at one level, we are getting, we are facing the pollution and the chemicals.
Right.
And the body which could have been healed by food, which could have regenerated through food, even chemicals are coming from there, and low quality oils are coming. So it's a double whammy which we are experiencing in our population.
Well, that's a very valid point that you've made. It's not just about salt, sugar, and oil. It's also, we are not even adding up nutrition to our food. What about the kind of oil which is being used, how deep fried it is, the fact that pollution itself is doing us so much damage. But Tarandeep Kaur, here's the problem. We all know that everyone must exercise, but that's not happening. For example, we broke it down for our viewers. For one gulab jamun, you'll have to burn it out with 44 minutes of walking. You'll have to walk for 44 minutes, only then can you actually digest it. If you do it for samosa or anything else, a laddu will take you 29 minutes, close to half an hour of cycling. These are very scary stats, but who really does it? If they aren't stars and superstars in urban India, if your lifestyle, for example, if you're a star, you're an actor, perhaps your lifestyle does depend on how you look. Who has the time in urban India to put in this much? Are we neglecting ourselves?
Definitely, and exercise is something that is definitely not on the radar of most of the people. People just don't, understand the importance of exercise. It is so important. And with any workout, even if you work out for like 1.5 to 2 hours, the maximum amount of calories that you can burn is like anywhere between 300 to 500 calories. Whereas our average consumption in a day for a healthy individual is anywhere between 1,500 to 2,000 calories. So even then so if you calculate it that way, it's just like 1/4 of your total calories you can, expedite by doing exercise, but people are not even doing. And the benefits of exercise are multiple. It's not only for your physical, it's for your emotional, mental well-being.
Absolutely.
And plus it releases the endorphins, which makes you feel good the entire day. So it is so important. And with the when you exercise, you definitely want to have a healthy food, because it's just a chain reaction. When you exercise for like for an hour or 2 hours, and then you are like, I definitely do not wish to consume, junk food or food that is not healthy or adding benefit to my life. So it's very, very important to, include exercise in our daily routine, at least. And it's not difficult. I think 45 minutes of exercise 3 to 4 times a week, it should be made like a mandatory thing. We do so many things, in the day. I'm sure we all have that kind of time to spare. And especially it's like
Right.
an investment you are making for your old age. So I always consider this.
That's
as an-
nicely put. Don't think of
Yeah.
it as exercise. It's an investment for your own age. You are investing
Exactly.
to make sure that you are going to be healthier when you are older. But Dr. Shikha Sharma, we are looking at all the steps which are being taken. You have the parliamentary committee which is also going to be looking at what FSSAI is going to be doing from here onwards. Many have said that it's not just about the desi food. Why are we just looking at samosas, jalebis? Because the children and the obesity numbers in children is extremely high, especially in urban India. What about burgers? What about pizzas?
See, I agree. It's not a question of desi food or international food. All of them are the same problem. All of them are really bad. So I think we have to take a holistic view that it is the way these processed foods are being made, or the oils, the bad quality ingredients. So it has to be across the board. It is not that we just target one or the other. It has to be across board, all products which are harming our children, harming our population.
Especially in urban areas. But then again, let's look at it this way. This may be some desi snacks causing us health problems, but perhaps even the solutions of this comes in our desi wisdom. Wisdom which lies in the science of yoga as well and meditation. A lot of this can also be found in the ancient roots of India. Well, thank you so much, both of you, Tarandeep Kaur, for joining us, as well as Dr. Shiksha Sharma. And let's not forget, all you viewers, at the end of it all, next time you have that samosa and that jalebi, it make up with a cup of woes and guilt. Without a short break, stay tuned.